lined up on brass-tacks, and that has to do with the Luthra brothers, the owners of the Birch by Romeo Lane nightclub in Goa, where 25 people died in that fire. It's been 3 days since that deadly fire ripped through this nightclub. And since then, the owners of this high-end club, Gaurav and Saurav Luthra, have fled away to Phuket in Thailand. The last 3 days, the police have launched a massive manhunt for the accused. 5 others have been nabbed so far, including one of their partners, Ajay Gupta. The top management continues to be cooped up in Thailand, these two, the brothers. A blue-collar notice has been issued to drag them back to India. With the blood of 25 people, 20 of them their own employees, they today moved a court in Delhi for anticipatory bail for 4 weeks, citing medical grounds. But as of now, there's been no stay on their arrest. They've not got any kind of interim relief. The matter will continue to be heard by the court. But it is absolutely appalling and amazing that after 25 people have died, these two owners, against whom there is a charge of culpable homicide not amounting to murder, and who have fled away from the law, fled away from the justice system here in India, have today pleaded with the court on medical grounds that they should not be arrested when they come back to India. In the wake of this tragedy, today the Goa Chief Minister held a press conference. He has said that there will be strict action against all the accused. He's also warned that all the clubs that are found violating norms will be subjected to action. In fact, one of their clubs, Gaurav and Saurav Luthra's clubs in Vagator, was demolished in bulldozer action yesterday because, again, post facto, the local authorities there found that there were serious building violations there. This is the footage from last evening. It's been completely demolished now by bulldozer action. But again, all of this is happening post facto. Let's listen into what Pramod Sawant, the Goa Chief Minister, said.
Definitely within the short span of a time, they'll come under the behind the bar. जिस जगह पे फायर सेफ्टी फेलियर्स इन द टूरिज्म एस्टैब्लिशमेंट है, हमें ब्लंटली वायलेशन कहाँ पे भी दिखा, समझो हमारी जो जॉइंट एनफोर्समेंट कमेटी ने इंस्पेक्शन करने के बाद ब्लंट वायलेशन दिखा, तो कुछ दिन के लिए उनकी एक्टिविटी जब तक नॉर्म्स फॉलो न करे तब तक वो बंद रहेंगी.
So the question that still remains is, why did it have to take a tragedy and for 25 innocent lives to be lost for the government to finally crack the whip? Now there's a paper trail. There's a whole bunch of complaints against Birch by Romeo Lane starting from December of 2023. So for almost 2 years, there is documentary sort of trail that Birch by Romeo Lane had multiple infractions, multiple flagrant violations, which were flagged by villagers in Arpora. It was flagged by environmental activists for flouting the norms, but all of those efforts went in vain. First up is a demolition notice. This is dated 20th December 2023, which mentions, and you can see this, there is unauthorized construction of shops, restaurants and structures at the site. It describes a grim reality. It goes on to say that these are illegal constructions. Foul water is being dumped into the river. Remember, this location was bang in the middle of where the river meets the sea. And then it also goes on to say that there's an underwater dance floor, which again is a complete violation that was on the verge of collapse. Now, the complainants warned that human lives were at serious risk if nothing was done. The notice warned of site inspection, and it was followed up with a show cause notice. But again, there was no action. In early 2024, the local village panchayat scheduled an inspection on the 17th of January 2024. They confirmed that there were illegal parts of this construction. You can see the VP, Sarpanch and VP members of the concerned village panchayat, Arpora Nagoa in Bardes, Goa. After the notice, the site inspection flagged off these things and the management was asked to be present at the site with all the relevant documents to prove otherwise. But again, that did not happen either. Then a month later, there was another show cause notice that was issued. This was on the 15th of February. And then again on the 13th of March, the panchayat drafted a demolition proposal saying that this is illegal construction. The club owners have been given 15 days to comply. They did not comply, and they were going ahead and demolishing this. Warnings were also sent by block development officials to the club owners. But nothing changed. Nothing at all changed. The owners did not produce the required documents. They did not comply with the building code and the building guidelines. Instead, they appealed to the higher authorities, as a result of which the demolition order was stayed by the regional panchayat's authority, and the action against Birch by Romeo Lane was stayed. Had this action been taken, then clearly those 25 lives would have been saved and could have been saved. Now, turning a complete blind eye to all the previous warnings, today the Luthra brothers, through their counsel, senior advocate of the Supreme Court, Mr. Siddharth Luthra, argued in court that they are seeking liberty to return to India and they want to approach the Goa court but are scared of a witch hunt. They claim that one of the Luthra brothers has epilepsy and he holds a medical prescription since 2020. They say that they are not the owners, but they are actually people who run the place on a lease and that they have leased it out to some franchisees to run. They've also claimed that they will not tamper with the evidence and say that they too are victims. And the irony of that, 20 out of the 25 people who died are their own employees and they didn't care for them and they ran away to Thailand, but now they're claiming that they too are victims. For now, though, the court has not granted them any kind of interim relief. The court has said that if they come back, they will have to face the law. The hearing on their anticipatory bail will resume again tomorrow. Now, the fundamental question is, as the Luthra brothers remain on the run, our correspondent Yasha Kotak spoke with one of the whistleblowers. His name is Ravi Harmalkar, who way before this tragedy struck raised some of the gross irregularities about this nightclub, and in response he was threatened by the owners, the Luthra brothers.
Luthra brothers are habitual offenders. They are having high profile connection with like IPS, IAS officer, local government, and whenever we file a complaint for any illegalities, till date authority have never supported us or never acted. No authority was taking action because, as I told you, he is a very, very high profile.
I want to go across for a quick face-off on this. Dr. Vikram Singh, former IPS officer, former DGP, Satya Mule, lawyer at the Supreme Court, is also joining us. Vikram Singh, sir, look at the multiple violations that have been flagged off in 2023, in 2024 by the village panchayat. Finally, the regional panchayat authority gave a stop. Multiple flagrant building code violations were noticed there. Illegal construction was noticed there. And no one thought that action should be taken, or at least clearly these owners were powerful enough to get powerful authorities to stop the action against them. And now, post facto, after 25 people are dead, the bulldozers are going and the illegal constructions are being demolished and the pub is being sealed.
Good evening, Zaka. This is an administrative avoidable tragedy, a tragedy that could have been avoided and prevented. But obviously, the Luthra brothers have deep pockets and they could manipulate the system, and they did it very, very successfully in a very devious manner. The panchayat, the BDO, both the offices issued notices, but those notices went into the dustbin and nothing happened before that. But after the incident, you have the bulldozers doing everything, and then it really doesn't matter because 25 precious lives have been lost, and this is almost the same number as we lost in Pahalgam and launched Operation Sindoor. If something, even the very basic operation was launched, I think this tragedy could have been averted. But now adding insult to injury is that the whistleblower is also being threatened. But the only silver lining that I see that the response of the police has been swift and professional. But I had expected a lot more from the local authorities. December 2023, you have very eloquently mentioned that everything started almost in December 2023, but nobody woke up. And if nobody woke up, that indeed is the cause of concern, and they are willing accessories to the crime.
No, but tell me, sir, if the village panchayat has taken the decision, despite giving multiple notices and no satisfactory explanation from the owners, they've taken the decision to demolish the illegal structures, shouldn't the question be asked, who then overrode the village panchayat? Who had the authority, the power to override the decision of the village panchayat, and that these illegal structures continued for a good year, year and a half? In fact, almost 2 years.
Please listen to me very carefully. I can tell you from my experience, whoever overrode or was complicit in staying the order of the panchayat, in staying the demolition, is accessory number 1 and should be hauled up under 62 of former IPC section 120B of criminal conspiracy. He is absolutely eyeball deep involved in this conspiracy and responsible, and he has blood on his hands, whoever the officer may be. And therefore, I would say this FIR needs to broaden its scope of investigation and rope in all those who were instrumental in marking time, giving them long rope, and therefore there needs to be a larger investigation.
So I also want to go across to Satya Mule. And today, the Luthra brothers moved a court in Delhi, and this is their plea. This is their anticipatory bail plea. They're seeking liberty to come back to the country and approach the Goa court. They want an assurance that there will not be a witch hunt. The brothers also say one of us has Epilepsy, we have a medical prescription from 2020 to prove it. The epilepsy did not stop them from running away to Thailand. And now they want protection of the same law that they ran away from, that no coercive action will be taken on them. How does that work?
Complete nonsense. This kind of mockery doesn't work in India. We have had cases where Supreme Court in the past, in serious offences, have directed the accused to surrender first and then take the protection of law. They have all the ways to take the protection of law after surrendering and demonstrating that they want to cooperate with the law. Having said that, I want to mention that there is a modus operandi that has evolved across the country. To save cost, the modus operandi of these kind of people is to erect structures which are of temporary nature by using material which are highly inflammatory, which leads to infringements of fire laws, infringement of environmental laws, infringement of noise laws, infringement of construction laws, infringement of various NOCs. And this
No, but
has
Mr.
got
Mole, who
passive
gave
support
them the
of
NOC for
administration.
this? The fire officer, the village officer? I mean, who are the people who gave them the NOCs for this?
There is a nexus for this. Politicians, police, and administration. There is a strong nexus to it, and this nexus is seen across the country. Whether it was Kamla Mills fire, whether it was Hotel Arpita Palace in Karol Bagh, whether there was coaching class fires in Surat or Delhi, this particular nexus of having this kind of hazardous structures in place for running the business only for the sake of profit and throwing the safety of the patrons to the wind has been seen across
You know,
this
one of the
nation,
things
and
that I
time
find
has come.
amazing, that they have taken
Yes.
the refuge that under medical grounds they need protection of the law to come back and move a Goa court. Now, look at the timeline. 12:04, a little past midnight, Saturday night, Sunday morning is when this incident happens, when this accident happens. By 1:30 a.m. or closer to 2 a.m., these two brothers have already reached the airport. By 5 o'clock in the morning, they're already on an Indigo flight flying to Phuket in Thailand. 20 out of the 25 people who died, that they're employees, they're cooks, they're
demonstrate
restaurant
again.
waiters. Clearly, they had no intention of facing the law. They wanted to run away from the law, and now they're seeking protection of the same law.
They are definitely demonstrating the guilt. This, in fact, they are pleading that they are the franchisees and they gave the franchisee to somebody else, a franchisee owner, as well as the franchisee giver. They both have the contractual responsibility to follow the law. At the same time, these people have fiduciary relationship. Along with that, if this particular incident has happened, then they also have the responsibility of contributory negligence, which has led to culpable homicide not amounting to murder. And in fact, they have to face the law. And in this kind of a situation, all these particular paper trails, their contribution towards this particular kind of a situation has to be investigated.
Right from
and
the beginning,
no bail should be granted.
Vikram Singh Saab, there was illegal construction. The village panchayat had ordered that illegal construction needs to be removed, it needs to be demolished. Somebody powerful overrode the village panchayat. In fact, even a site inspection was carried out. The management was asked for an explanation. 15 days time was given. No explanation from them. Even right at the beginning, this was agricultural land that was converted for non-agricultural purposes. The management of this nightclub was asked to appear in court. They didn't even show up in court. And the case got a stay. Now, my point is, who has allowed all of this to happen? Surely two private individuals running a private business cannot be so powerful that they can override a village panchayat, they can get a stay in court, they can continue with illegal constructions on their premises, they can convert agricultural land and use it for non-agricultural purposes. I mean, come on. It's unbelievable. There's a whole nexus that has supported them. I don't think it's just two private individuals who have done this. Vikram Singh.
Mr. Zaka, please understand that they have people with very deep pockets and they are very street smart. They could manage to manipulate not only the panchayat, but the government machinery as also the inspecting authorities. In any case, the inspecting authorities and the inspections in NOCs are a gateway to scandal and also corruption. Therefore, I totally agree with the profound words of Mr. Sule, which he has said that everybody is complicit and there is facilitation money that is going around and around. And therefore, I would say that when he has the means, there are different rule book for him. And the different rule book says that if you have the means and the purchasing power, he purchased the system to his own advantage and managed to escape. And the very fact that he managed to go to Phuket, he had a plan B already ready, the passport and the visas ready. And then he managed to escape and fully. Indigo stalled many of the flights. But for them, perhaps their luck didn't run out and the flight managed to take off. But the fact of the matter is, to your original question, is that these people were managed to hijack the system totally, the panchayat, the government machinery, the inspecting machinery, the fire service department, the whole lot of them, and managed to put a stay order on the Gram Panchayat, which wanted to demolish their resort, but it did not happen because they managed to get themselves bailed out.
All right, Vikram Singh and Mr. Mole, thank you for joining us. Hopefully, these two owners of this club against whom there are charges of culpable homicide not amounting to murder will be brought back to India, dragged back to India and made to face the law. That is what they need to be made to do. I want to thank you for joining us here on